Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the Ford Bronco Everglades. This is my first full review with one of these, so I'm super excited. First and foremost though, before we get into the video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Tim Daly Ford here in Spanish Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this Bronco. This particular one is still available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can reach out to them. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering the Everglades is a turbocharged 2.3 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, power outputs are about 300 horsepower and about 325 pound-feet of torque with this powertrain. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, it's got the normal Bronco hood. You guys can see the little trail markers here, which are pretty cool, and then notice how it kind of like slowly raises up. And then yes, you have the mirrors that are attached to the bodywork. Now coming down below, we've got the LED lights here, which are standard on the Bronco, and then I like how the Bronco logo has been blacked out. That actually looks really cool. Now you do have a winch from the factory. That's one of the big parts of this Everglades package, and boy oh boy does it look cool. Obviously it's also practical. You also get the upgraded bumper as well with this. And when you put it all together, I mean, this thing just has so much presence in person. I mean, that's a first edition, which is a really cool looking Bronco, but like this, it just knocks it out of the park. Come around the side here, tire and wheel setup is 315/70/17 in the front and over in the rear as well. So yes, this does have the Sasquatch package when it comes to the tires and the wheels, but these wheels are specific to the Everglades. I think they look really cool. The tires, however, those are just normal Sasquatch tires is what we'll call them. And since this Bronco has been Sasquatched, I guess is what we will call it, you've got the Bilstein suspension. Here, I'll give a better look down here. There you go, you can see the shocks. We also have the larger fender flares with this, and we got this cool Everglades decal on the side, and you got the little Sasquatch logo inside of it. Rock rail protection here on the side as well. And then you guys probably noticed from some of the shots, you've got the snorkel here from the factory, which again, it just looks so cool. And then here's your full side view on the Bronco. With the hardtop and the roof rails and everything, it just, again, it has this like cool adventure vehicle appearance. Now here's a key fob. We have our unlock function, our lock function, remote start, and then you can see the Bronco logo there on the back. Now popping to the tailgate area, you've got the double compression with the opening for the bottom door, and the glass just opens up normally like a Wrangler. And you guys can see, since this is a 4-door, you got quite a bit of space behind the second row, so you can throw all your camping goodies and everything back here. And it looks like this one also has a little top storage bag and got a 12-volt here in the back. Now when you're all done, just plop that down, and then with this one, boop. Now I've got the upgraded taillights here with the Bronco, and then you guys can see the recovery hook down below. And then here is the spare tire on the back of the Bronco. And then wrapping things up, let me know what you guys think about the looks of this Bronco, but I think it's pretty sweet. Now popping inside, you guys can see here with the trim on the door panel, I really like the gray coloration. I think it looks good. And then that theme continues onto the seats. These seats are supposed to be easy to clean. That's why there's no perforations or anything on them. And then legroom in the back of the Bronco is really good. We've got our window controls here in the center with some outlet action. And then you got the stadium seating, so we're kind of like higher up, which is pretty cool. And then headroom back here is also really good. Now with the front door panel, you guys can see again with the trim here at the bottom. And then we've got the mirrors which do have blind spot monitoring, and then you got the little netting down below. For those of you wondering, this has 976 pounds of payload capacity. And then here are the seats. Notice the Bronco horse on it. And you can see again, easy to clean. They are manually adjustable. You've got your light controls right here with your parking brake, and then you get the hood release. And I like the grab panel. It looks like there's a little bit of green trim inside of it. That's pretty sweet looking. So here is the steering wheel. We've got really nice trim all around. We've got some controls here for the center stack. Of course, the Bronco horse in the center, which you guys can see very well. And then we do have our cruise control here on the outside with the volume controls. Now here's the center gauge cluster. So it's just like every other Bronco, frankly, so there's nothing too crazy about it, but it is cool with the off-road stuff you can see there. Now this one is pre-owned, but you guys can see it only has 285 miles, so basically brand new. And then in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and then you got the zoom function with that. No forward camera or anything with this. Again, the winch would get in the way. Sorry about the lighting in this shot, but you guys can see we've got front and rear lockers and trail turn assist. We also have stability control at the top and the little hazard light button. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's Ford's larger system here. Super good response time. You've got the little auxiliary page thing here on the side as well, which is pretty cool, but good system. Analog controls here for the radio, climate controls, got heated seats with this on top of that, and then you got a little charging port here, and of course we got our little Bronco plaque. And then we have our shifter for the 10-speed automatic transmission. And then this is our drive line select right behind it in the drive mode select. So notice we've got 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel high, 4-wheel low, 4-wheel auto. We've got our off-road cruise control as well. We'll go over the drive modes in just a moment. Window controls are right here. And then you got your mirror adjustment and then center console. Good storage space inside. I do like the padding here on the top too. And then with the glove box, yeah, pretty solid. Okay, so popping into the center here, you guys can see we've got a normal mode, eco, sport, slippery, mud ruts, sand, and then we have a rock crawl mode as well. And then finishing things up top, we have 6 auxiliary switches here with this Everglades package. And then you can see here we've got the hard top, and notice you can take it off with these latches here up front pretty easily. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors, dual blind spot monitoring. And throughout the rest of the rear. And, well, let's go alligator hunting. I'm just kidding. It's because we're on the Everglades. Hope you guys understood. But anyways, this is my first time fully reviewing an Everglades. The only one that I've seen prior to this, I think was at the Chicago Auto Show back in like 2022. And I'll be honest, I was like not really paying too much attention to it because there was a Bronco Raptor right next to it on the display, and yeah, I was all in on the Bronco Raptor. That's all I'm gonna say there. But regardless, it'll be interesting to see what this package is like. I think this is an interesting marketing piece by Ford, because basically what they've done is they've taken a wild track. This is just kind of like my thoughts on this. They've taken pretty much like a wild track and then switched out the 2.7 for the 2.3, or maybe they've taken a Badlands and taken out the stabilizer bar disconnect, whichever way you want to look at it, thrown a winch on the front end, given it some different wheels, and then they're calling it like this special package. But I mean, it's still a Bronco, so it's still like super capable. I will say it rides really well. 35s, they definitely help out with absorption quite a bit. It's a pretty cool Gen 1. So that's a big plus. And this 2.3, it's pretty good. I just drove a Ranger Tremor before this. Same engine, different power outputs. It's interesting to see the difference. Really good torque. I like the little turbo whistle you get. I do like the seats in this Bronco. These upgraded seats, the vinyl ones, they're really comfortable. And they feel like they have like a cool, I don't know, like if you ever have a chance to touch them, it's like I like the feel of them. Yeah, pretty good over the little bumps here and everything. Bit of wind noise. This one does not have the top insulation, so it's a little bit louder compared to Broncos that do have the insulation. Yeah, it's interesting is that Ranger Tremor went over the bumps better than this. So it's kind of interesting to see the difference with the vehicles. It's kind of funny. But yeah, I will say, I mean, it's a comfortable ride overall. We'll get our acceleration here. That's quick. The 2.3's quick. The thing that's interesting is this supposedly has more power than the Ranger. Doesn't really feel any quicker. It feels pretty much the same with the acceleration. So let's sum things up here with this Bronco Everglades. Just like any other new Bronco, I think it looks really cool on the outside. I love the interior. I like how usable this interior is. And I own a Wrangler currently, and I can appreciate a lot of stuff in the Bronco that they've done to just basically make it, I don't know, like a little bit more user-friendly with a lot of things. And then aside from that, I mean, it drives really well because the independent front suspension on road. It's just a great package. So I see this as like, this is just me being honest, you know, obviously it has added capability because the winch and everything, but I just see this as one of those things that, like, if you like the looks of it more than a Wild Track or a Badlands, then get this one over those, because let's be real, how many of you actually can take your Broncos off-road? The answer is none of you. Maybe like 1 or 2 of you. Whereas most of you will just mall crawl with these, which there's nothing wrong with that. So I guess if you want to have a mall crawler with a big old winch on the front end that just looks cool, then the Everglades provides that.